I'm so glad कि इतने numbers में आप लोग आए हो. I'm really thankful. Today we have a special guest. Basically, Muskan is here. She scored 36 rank this year. Okay. Hello, ma'am. So why she is special? Because she has cleared in her first attempt. She scored 98 rank.
98.
And then in second attempt, she scored 36 rank. Okay. And most of you are going to give their first attempt this year or the next year. Huh? So I believe that you will be more able to relate with her. Okay. So please welcome her with a good round of applause. Thank you. We'll be having Suhas sir to felicitate. Please have a good round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Is everyone doing fine? So, how many of you will be attempting paper next year? Okay. Is anyone attempting this year as well? Okay. So, first of all, I'll start with my journey. I'll tell something about myself. And because there are some people who will be attempting this year, so I will start with prelims first. Then I'll tell something, my strategy about mains examination. And then finally, I'll share some of my experiences from my interview. Then if anyone has some question, you can ask me at the end. Does it sound fine? Okay. So, hello, my name is Muskan Srivastav. I'm originally from Gonda district, Uttar Pradesh, if anyone of you knows this city. I graduated in 2021 from IIIT Jabalpur. I have done BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Post that, I worked as a software engineer in Microsoft. From 2022 starting, I started preparing for UPSC examination. That time I was working full-time. However, you all know that syllabus is very vast and I was not able to manage it very well. So when I gained confidence that maybe I can pursue UPSC preparation full-time, I left my job in 2022 end. And then 2023 was my first attempt. I was very doubtful, to be honest, but I had been fortunate, and by God's grace, I was able to clear it with the rank 98, and I got IPS from that. And 2024 was my second attempt, where I got 36th rank. So this is my journey. So we will start with a little bit about my prelims preparation strategy. Okay. So for prelims, few things that you would have to take, that journal things that I kept in my mind was that PYQ is God. Okay. We have to, I revised PYQs multiple times from 2011 to 2022 when I attempted my 2023 paper, and for 2024 attempt, I did it till 2023. Not once, but multiple times, 2 to 3 times I did PYQs. There would be certain questions where a lot of multiple options are important as well. So I often Googled them as well. So you have to be very, very clear with the PYQs. That is foremost strategy. Secondly, basic books are very important. So basic book list, we all know that for polity, I used Lakshmikant, and I did refer to class 11th political theory NCERT book. So in that, the concept like secularism or what is liberty, freedom, these concepts are very lucidly explained. So I read it once and made some small definitions out of that. So we do see certain questions in prelims examinations that certain conceptual questions like federalism, what is liberty, these questions are asked. So that is the source of those book. So if you have read NCERTs, very well, but at the end, NCERTs for polity is to be once only read and then you can set it aside. And Lakshmikant was my main book. For economy, I did Nitin Singhania's book. For economy, it is very lucid in nature, and whatever was your main source, you can use that. You don't need to follow Nitin Singhania only if you are doing it from the class, if you guys are attending here, and whatever book was being provided or whatever your teacher has said, you can use that. But your concept should be very clear in prelims examination for economy, because conceptual questions are being asked nowadays. Secondly, what economy needs a lot of value addition as well. So what is the source of those value addition? First of all is economic survey. Economic survey is very long, so the original PDF cannot be read. So what we do, we read summary. So Vision IAS, I used Vision IAS summary books for economic survey. A lot of concepts or keywords you will also get there. So those keywords, if you are not able to understand, please do Google it, because those questions can be asked in prelims examination. So this is economic survey. Second value addition would be budget. So I refer to budget. So Vision IAS again releases budget analysis. I used that. And apart from that, current affairs. I'll cover current affairs in a separate form. Okay. Then history. I used NCERT's book only for completing my prelims portion. And science and tech. So I already had a science background, so chemistry and physics, I did not feel a lot of problem in that area, especially technology. I did not feel a lot of problem in that area, but I did feel it in biology section or biotechnology section. For that, I used YouTube and other sources for basic understanding. So first of all, I did not take GS Foundation course anywhere. So because I was working full time, my time did not allow it. So you guys are already attending. So these basics, I assume, will be covered from your classes itself. So your basics should be very clear in science and technology. Okay. Then if you understand basic, then you can clearly understand what is going on in current affairs. So again, in science and tech, current affairs is very important. What I did in current affairs, I'll again come to it later. Then we have environment. Environment, again, I used a PMF IAS book for covering environment section. It is very comprehensive in nature. And environment, certain locations have to be very cleared with. For example, national park, Ramsar sites, or biosphere reserves. These are the areas that you will have to be very clear with. There can be wildlife sanctuary as well. So these are the areas we have to be very clear with it. And geography. So geography is my optional. So I did not do anything special for geography per se. But I had read geography NCERT's book. Not the new one, because new one I personally feel have a little bit lesser content compared to the older ones. So you can refer to either to that. I'm telling mine. Okay, you can tweak your own book list. You don't need to follow entirely. Yeah, if you're doing coaching and already have referred to one material, please stick to that. Okay. So I did that, and my optional was geography. So I did not study a lot of geography separately for that. Okay. And anything, I think all the subjects are covered for prelims. Okay. So for current affairs, what I did is I read a newspaper consistently all year around, and I would highly encourage every one of you to please do read newspaper consistently. You can read any newspaper of your own choice, whatever you like. I personally read the Indian Express, but you can also refer to any other. The Hindu, the Indian Express, or the Times of India, whatever you feel is accessible to you, please do read newspaper daily. Newspaper is very important, not only from current affairs point of view, but for in-depth understanding as well, what is going in your country, as well as developing your language skills as well. That is required from a future bureaucrat's perspective. Okay, current affairs is this, but I cannot revise current affairs entirely at the end of the year before examination. For that, I refer to PT 365 and Mains 365 for Vision IAS. But not that also, there was a priority list for me. For example, environment, science and tech, PT 365 or Mains 365, current affairs in those areas is very important. So I used to read that first. Then maybe environment, then maybe economy. You can decide your own. For example, I did not, if the time allowed, only then I would refer art and architecture PT 365. But if it did not, then I did not. Because those portions are more or less static in nature. So sorry, I missed art and architecture. I referred to Nitin Singhania's sir books. That too selectively, I did not read it end to end, but certain sections, for example, architecture portion, dance portion, music portion. If by looking at PYQs, you can understand those portions I read from that book. Around 60% book you have is to be read. Not all portions are equally important. And so PT 365, you can make your own priority list, which you feel that is more important for you to cover current affairs from. Then try to cover 3, 4, then next 1, 2, then 1, 2, because I know it is a bulky material and it may not be able, and you may not be able to complete it entirely. No problem. That's what I did for PT 365 for prelims examination. And then fourth is then Mains 365. Also, Mains 365 is even bulkier. So I'll cover that for in the main section. Okay, when I'll cover it for the GS perspective. Then we will come to test series. So for prelims perspective, test, I think what I did was, for sectional test, I did 2 to 3 tests for each subject, and full length test, I did a 15 to 16 test. Okay, so if you calculate it, it would be around 35 to 40 tests I attempted. And I re-revised it, the questions, what I did not find, I did wrong. So those questions I used to re-revise what I did wrong and used to go back to my basic books to see what I did wrong. So I made note of those things. I highlighted also in the solution itself, so that at least highlighted portion I can revise it again. So these were the tests, and these were I think more than sufficient. This much content if you cover is more than sufficient. So what is the thing? The basic books should be revised multiple times. Then the second thing is PYQs multiple times. You can attempt tests. Tests are only the direction of your preparation. You shouldn't get discouraged with the test. Okay, my marks also ranged from 40s to 50s also. I also scored above 100 also, but I also sometimes got 40s and 50s also. So it is not like that if you're getting 40s, 30s marks, then you cannot clear. Those tests are designed for your preparation strategies. It is not a reflection of how well you will perform in the actual examination. Okay. And so this was the prelims section for GS. And the CSAT portion. So CSAT portion is first of all 3 parts. Let's say quant, reasoning and reading comprehension. For reading comprehension, I used last 10 years paper of UPSC and used only its answer key, what UPSC has given. So I personally found that there were certain discrepancies in answer keys that were given by coaching institutes. Okay, so what you will have to do is, when you solve CSAT, please do see the answer key only which is published on the UPSC's website. For reading comprehension, I solved last 10 years questions, each and every question. So reading, I understood what is being asked. By doing it 2 to 3 times, you will pick up it yourself only, that these type of question, for example, assumptions, how it would be solved. Inferences, what is the correct answer. If you do 2 to 3 times, you will pick up that what is being done in the assumption. So what I did is this. Then for quant, you will have to learn the basics of every type of question. Maybe it is very difficult. For example, some of you may find the probability may be difficult. I personally found it. Or the questions such as like cisterns and pipes, I personally found it difficult. But nonetheless, I did learn the basics of it. Why? Because in actual examination, there might be some basic questions of it and you don't want to miss it. So for that day, for that basic questions, you will have to learn basics of every topic. I did not leave any topic because I cannot say that UPSC will give only tough question from this area. What if probability questions are very easy and reasoning questions are very tough? What will I do? Right? So I did this. Okay, and reasoning also, there is a certain, for example, dice questions or series question, there are certain patterns. So those basics have to be studied. So you have to prepare basics of every topic that is being asked in CSAT. This is the first level of preparation. Then second is, I personally believe that CSAT strategy is also very important while solving. Because there are 80 questions and you just have to you have to pass it. You don't have to attempt 80 questions. You can easily leave 20 questions, only target attempting 60 questions. We can still easily pass. In the first one, in my first attempt in 2023, I actually attempted only 44 questions and I did pass. But that year my accuracy was high. And if I'm not wrong, 2023 paper was actually tough. Okay, so I tweaked my strategy with it because I felt that questions are very tough. Instead of trying to attempt a lot of questions, I found those questions which I felt confident. And yeah, and 2024 CSAT paper was on a little bit easier side, so I attempted around 53 or 54 questions. So what is the at least 20 questions you can leave. You can target 60 questions. So you have to, by practicing, you have to develop your own strategy to identify which 20 questions you have to leave. It should not happen that I have already spent 2 minutes and then realize that this question is tough. I should be able to recognize those questions, that this question is tough and I would not be able to solve it. And this will come only via practice. So for this, there are test papers. So when you practice multiple times, then you will be able to understand that these are the type of questions that I am not able to solve, and I will not solve this question. I will not waste any minute. So if you can, if you develop this skill that you are able to recognize beforehand just by reading the question that this is not the question of my capability, then you will at least save 2 to 3 minutes. Because sometimes question do looks easy and we start doing it, and after doing 4 or 5 minutes of calculation, we will not get answer also, and we have also wasted 4 or 5 minutes. So you have to practice CSAT, and CSAT should not be taken lightly. Especially in the last 1 to 2 months of preparation when prelims is near, CSAT I practiced every day. Despite I think I have decent knowledge about mathematics, I have that technical background, I did not take it any easily. Okay, despite if you are from any background with very good mathematics, please do not take it lightly. We will do it diligently. Okay, UPSC demands diligence and we will do it very, very diligently. Do practice. Even if you are scoring very well in CSAT, please do not take it lightly. Even if you are scoring 150s in 200. Then also please practice CSAT, because if you are not able to clear CSAT, despite whatever your good scores, you will not be able to write mains. So this is the CSAT questions and prelims area. So anyone has any question regarding to prelims, I can take it right now. Yeah. So it depended on paper to paper. For example, in 2023 attempt, which was on the little bit on the tougher side, the pattern was changed. 2022, you know, the 2023 paper little bit elimination was changed. I attempted in actual examination 81 questions, and in 2024 I felt very comfortable with the paper. I attempted around 92 questions. In most of the test, I tried to attempt around 80 to 95 questions based upon what is my preparation level, how much I knew it. Okay, it ranged, but generally ranged from 80 to 95. Yeah, I would personally suggest try to uh, attempt 70 plus, but it would be on your end that what is your good score. For example, if I attempt more than, there are people that who attempt more than 95 also, there are people who attempt 100 questions also, but in that I my score starts going down. So how I recognize that the sweet peak? By doing practice and test papers, by experimenting. So this is so, and now the question arises, then how can you even attempt 70 plus question? Because a lot of time we see that from our knowledge base only 40 to 45 questions we know directly, but what you can what I also see that there are also some applied questions as well. Your existing knowledge can be used to apply those questions, and if you are done with the current affairs and do some little bit of logical reasoning, for example, extreme statements are wrong. I'm not saying that you have to guess and do that, but there are certain things that you will understand by practicing, that you will start attempting around 70, around at least 70 by applying your knowledge. For example, polity, only not if you have read constitution and this articles, then you would be able to also attempt those questions which are conceptual in nature, which is not directly from your book, but you will have that understanding to attempt that question, right? If you have geography, your base is strong, then maybe related to climate, you will start understanding that this type, for example, there is one mahua tree. There was asked in 2023. So it was said that mahua tree is deciduous or not. Something on the similar line, that question was asked. But if you know little bit that UP and Bihar has a lot of mahua trees, and what is the climate of here, which is, I think it is a native type of plant that exists in UP and Bihar from, I think, thousands of years. So we know the climate around here. We know that what kind of plants would be able to tolerate those things. Do you think that evergreen tree might be able to do it? So that's why mahua can be deciduous. So even you don't know, you can get to there, right? So apply your knowledge, your observation also, and by observing and applying also, you will be able to increase your number of attempts. Anything else for prelims related? Yes.
जैसे करंट अफेयर्स के जो पीवाईक्यू होते हैं, जब हम उनको मतलब सॉल्व करें, तो क्योंकि वो करंट अफेयर का तो पुराना है, लेकिन जो आने वाला मतलब नेक्स्ट ईयर हम एग्जाम देंगे, तो उसके लिए वो क्या अप्रोच होनी चाहिए उसको सॉल्व करने की, कि मतलब आगे के लिए वो जो हमारे लिए मतलब बेनिफिशियल हो, उसके लिए क्या अप्रोच रखें उसको सॉल्व करने में, क्या उससे निकाल सकते हैं?
सो जैसे हमारा प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन है जो कि केवल करंट अफेयर से रिलेटेड है, तो अगर वो प्योरली है तो आपको उससे ज़्यादा घबराना नहीं है, आप उसको स्किप कर सकते हैं कि हाँ ये पूरी तरीके से करंट अफेयर्स है, जो कि हर साल कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चंस होंगे ही होंगे। आप बस उसमें से जैसे कोई अगर बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन निकल रही है, जैसे कोई राइट टू प्राइवेसी पुट्टा स्वामी केस, ये उस समय के लिए करंट अफेयर्स था, पर अब ये करंट अफेयर्स नहीं, बेसिक नॉलेज है। अगर ऐसा कुछ आपका निकल रहा है तो आप उसको यूज कर सकते हैं, और अगर प्योरली करंट अफेयर्स है जो आपको लग रहा है न्यूज में नहीं है और ये बहुत बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, तो आप उसको इजीली स्किप कर सकते हैं।
बाकी जैसे कुछ योजनाएं वगैरह होती हैं, वो उसके लिए भी मतलब जैसे जो स्कीम्स जैसे मुद्रा योजना हो गई, मतलब 2015 में, तो जैसे पूछी जाती है बार बार।
तो आपसे पूछ लिया मुद्रा योजना, आपने वो क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किया, तो इवन इफ इट इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ योर बेसिक बुक्स, नाउ इट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर नॉलेज। तो अगर आपने देखा है कि 2-3 बार मुद्रा योजना पूछा जा चुका है, तो आप उसको भी पढ़ेंगे लेंगे, तो आपको क्लियर हो गया पीवाईक्यूज का ये के भी पार्ट है। तो मैं इसीलिए कह रही हूँ कि वी विल हैव टू डू पीवाईक्यूज मल्टीपल टाइम्स, बिकॉज सर्टेन थिंग्स आर रिपीटेड। सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल मुद्रा योजना, नाउ यू हैव रेड इट, सो इवन इफ इट कम्स वन मोर टाइम यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व दैट क्वेश्चन, राइट? सो हम लोग ये कर सकते हैं। स्कीम्स आप जो देखिए न्यूज़ में है, जो PT 365 वगैरह में है, आप उतना ही कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज स्कीम्स आर देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्कीम्स, इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल टू कवर ईच एंड एवरी स्कीम, so you will have to be little bit selective, and schemes do usually range from only 1 to 2 questions. So I think I personally felt that spending a lot of time on that may not be very much worth it. So I only did it selective, what was in PT 365 or whatever I encountered in PYQs. So if I focused on that, if I am able to do it from that, well and good. Otherwise, I will leave a certain question, 15-20 question at least I will leave. So
लास्ट ईयर 2024 में जो प्रीलिम्स का हुआ था तो उसमें मतलब जैसे योजनाओं का काफी ज्यादा क्वेश्चन वहाँ से थे, मैंने भी दिया था उस समय। तो क्योंकि अब पहले से भी मतलब ये था कि ज्यादा उतना जैसे पूछा नहीं जा रहा था योजना के बारे में, लेकिन वो अचानक से और फिर उसमें जैसे पढ़ते भी हैं हम तो, लेकिन स्टेटमेंट कई सारे मतलब ऐसे थे कि उतना डीप में मतलब नहीं पढ़ते, जैसे योजना कब स्टार्ट हुई, क्या इसका मतलब उद्देश्य है, तो लेकिन उसमें बहुत सारे स्टेटमेंट दे रखे थे, जैसे 4-4 5-5 स्टेटमेंट एक क्वेश्चन में थे, एक क्वेश्चन में। तो उसको मतलब कैसे अप्रोच करें, मतलब जैसे हम 2 एलिमिनेट कर देते हैं फिर एक में मतलब कुछ थोड़ा सा मुश्किल।
तो देखिए, जो आपकी ज़्यादा योजनाएं हैं तो उसमें मेरा देखिए क्या था कि ज़्यादातर जो योजनाएं इस बार पूछी भी गई थी वो थोड़ी सी सुनी सी थी, ठीक है। तो उसके बेसिस पे अगर आप थोड़ा सा एलिमिनेट कर पाए तो हो जाती हैं, और थोड़ा बहुत उसमें भी था। अगर नहीं भी हो पा रही तो आप मान लीजिए 2 क्वेश्चंस हैं, तो अब मेरा पर्सनली क्या होता है कि अगर थोड़ा बहुत आपकी रिस्क के पे ऊपर भी है कि अगर जैसे आपकी 2 क्वेश्चन है, मैं 50-50 कर दी हूँ तो मैं मार्क कर देती हूँ दोनों, ये एज्यूम करके कि शायद एक सही हो जाएगा, 2 में से एक भी सही हो जाएगा तो पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा, बट वो आपके ऊपर है। एंड उसमें 4-5 जगह पूछी गई थी, पर 2 तो एटलीस्ट ऐसी थी कि जो आप कर सकते हैं। और अगर आपको लगता है कि आप इतना रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहते हैं, आप एक्यूरेसी पे फोकस करना चाहते हैं, तो आप छोड़ दीजिए, मतलब ये वाली चीज़ है। देखिए, आपको मैं ये भी कहूँगी, जैसे 2023 में देयर वर 3 क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू स्पोर्ट्स अलोन, सो बट दे डिड एनी स्पोर्ट्स क्वेश्चन कम इन 2024? नॉट सो मच, राइट? So every year there would be certain portion that you will feel that why this has come, but if you spend a lot of energy on that, it might not be that much beneficial, right? So you will be able to do only selective things. So try to do prepare your basics first. Like we will first focus on 70-80% things that can be covered on through the basic books, through the current affairs, budget, economic survey. First we will do this. If we have time, then we will cover more, because if you focus that much on energy on that, but this year let's say no scheme is asked, then but you do know that at least 15-20 questions will be there from polity, so you should read Lakshmikant first. So that should be the strategy. Every year there would be many questions that you will think that, oh my god, why this questions is here. The passing the prelims examination, you will have to be little bit strategic. You will have to prioritize certain things. We would have to understand that we have limited time, and we would have to spend it on the areas that are more beneficial. You would have to spend the time on polity, reading Lakshmikant, revising those, because there would be more questions from that. In economy, first prepare those. Let's first complete 70-80%. Let's not target only that. We will do that by that way. You will also be covering PYQs, but still after by doing 50 schemes and doing PYQs by 15-20 more, even after studying 60-70 schemes, still you are seeing even newer scheme in that, then it's something, it's not in our control. Nobody knows that. Not everyone knows that. It is a competitive examination. You just have to edge out your competitor. Okay, not everyone knows that. If it is tough for you, it is tough for everyone. So that should be the mindset. Anything else? Thank you.
My question is regarding the note making strategy. Do you rely on some readily available note or did you create your own comprehensive notes and considering you were already working? So did you have time for creating notes or own notes?
I think you please ask me at the end. This I think prelims related, any question, or we should move towards anything related to prelims? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Okay. So how to revise? So first of all, to revise, first of all is study. So first of all, study your notes, and by doing it multiple times, you will find it easier your own way. I used to highlight certain things. For in Lakshmikant, I had put a cross mark on certain paragraph which I found that I know what it is written here, which only had verbose, and certain things that I used to forget, then I highlighted it. Some people make short notes, and if you are that person, you can definitely make it. I was the person who likes to highlight. I highlighted those. So by doing it again and again, your time for each revision will go down and you will find it easier. If you find it easier by making short notes, do make those. You once you start doing, or once you have done it with 2 times seriously, self study, you will find your own way by while doing it the third or the subsequent one.
मैम ये अभी तो क्या टाइम है नहीं 25 को तक, तो इज इट रिवाइड की टाइम लाइन टू लाइन रिवाइज करूं?
अब लाइन टू लाइन, अब देखिए आपको करना तो पड़ेगा सारे पेपर सब्जेक्ट्स, तो आपको प्रायोरिटाइज करना पड़ेगा दी थिंग्स दैट यू थिंक. डू नॉट डू एनीथिंग न्यू in last 20 days. Do not do anything new. Whatever you have studied, consolidate only those. Try to focus on the areas which are your little bit you are not very comfortable with, and try to focus on those areas which are very important, such as polity. So these are the things like polity, economy. First do basics, focus on basics, and do CSAT. This should be the last 20-25 days. You don't have to do a lot of test in this period. You can do test for just for strategy and so that you are warmed up enough. But try to but do not get discouraged during this period, and try to only focus on basics, whatever you have read so far, polity, economy, whatever be it. And try to focus on certain areas. In polity also, parliament chapter for example is more important. Try to do that. Make it a priority list. Priority list wise you can do that. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, for history and art and architecture, art and culture, Nitin Singhania sir. Yes, NCERTs only. 6th to 12th I did it, and then after 6th and 7th book, I personally felt that only little bit of information is needed, so I just extracted those and copy pasted into another PDF and printed those. So that was my case.
In history?
Yes, in history. You can do it in your way. You just read to 6th to 12th, whatever you find relevant, and make, I think 11th, 12th are more comprehensive in nature, but there would be certain little bit tidbits that would be in 6th and 7th that is not covered in 11th, 12th. You can extract those information and just put it there in the 11th, 12th only.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. You will have to revise that economic survey. Just reading is not enough, because if you do not absorb it, then it is not worth your time. So what I did was that I highlighted those points indirectly there only, and then re-revised only highlighted part. This is what I did. If you want to make notes of it, you can, but I personally felt that a highlighter one was saved time for me, so I did that. All right, let's move towards yeah.
Ma'am, is it relevant to read Tamil Nadu books for history, or just NCERT would be suffice?
I did not read it, so but I have heard that those are the nice books, so you can try to cover those. Otherwise, whatever, if you are already reading those, well and good, because there are so many sources for history. You can refer only one source. Just refer one source, be it NCERT, be it class notes plus whatever is the material given, be it Tamil Nadu books. Just refer one source for each subject. Don't do multiple sources. It is no issue. Okay, let's move towards mains. Okay, if you have any more questions, we will do it at the end. Okay, so we will start with GS2, not GS1, because I think I am better in GS2. Okay, so GS2, okay, last year I scored 130 and this year I scored 115. So I'll share my strategy. I personally feel that it is a little bit, I'm okay with it. So polity section, first of all, I am assuming that you all guys know how to write an answer. At least you all have written at least 1 or 2 answers at least. So you know what is introduction, body and conclusion, and answer writing skills, that you have to write more points and how to do that. I am assuming that. And so GS2 for there are little bit there's a little bit changes in approaches for each subject in GS2. So for polity, you will have to write little bit political theories, like a political theorist. Not completely like that, but use good terminologies. For example, federalism, what is secularism, these are the things that you should write. Don't write in a very vague language. Or the languages that is used in constitution, if you have read a Bare Act. Okay. So you can use, try to use good language. Keywords is important. Articles, try to quote as much article that you encounter and feel relevant. Don't write irrelevant article. Don't try to insert irrelevant things. Okay, write only relevant things. Try to learn articles. When you prepare for prelims also, try to learn articles. That will also help you in the mains answer writing. Then we have judgments. Judgments, you will have to write it, and in a bracket, even if it is not asked, try to explain it in one line. What is the judgment? What does judgment says? And what you can also use, for example, our prime minister or our president or any high honorable person, or for example, Chief Justice of India often give good statements. For example, President Murmu said that anonymity is the ornament of civil services, right? So this is the statement that I can use to enrich my answer if there is one on civil services. So these type of, look out for these type of statements. So how you will look out? In the newspaper only. Whenever they give any institutional speeches, try to avoid political speeches, please. Whenever they give some institutional speeches, some that type of good statements, you can use those and write that our honorable president has said this, our honorable prime minister have said this, or for example, our CJI said that no institution is beyond repair in a democracy. So if some question on institution is asked, we can use that statement, right? So this is the enrichment point of view in the politic part. And never end, and never, that I personally followed was that I try to never end an answer on a negative tone. So if something challenges was asked, so I gave solution at least 2 to 3, or way forward at least 2 to 3 from my end, even if it was not asked. So this is what I did. And for social justice, my base material was actually Mains 365. Because I did not have any other material, so you can make class notes as your base material and add from Mains 365. So current affairs was also covered from there, and try to enrich it with a lot of examples. Whatever you observe in your daily life, or whatever you are going anywhere you have observed, you can use those examples as well. Just enrich it with examples. Social justice, and I think current affairs is very important in social justice part. I sufficiently covered it from Mains 365 perspective. Governance, again, very manageable part of GS2. There is very well defined syllabus of governance. For each and every keyword, you should have some content that if you would be having some class notes that could act as a base material for that. If you do not, then you can make your own base material by googling that keyword and and creating some content out of it. Then governance also have certain set of keywords which you would have to use. For example, accountability, transparency, performance auditing. These type of keywords you will have to use, and you will have to write a lot of examples in this also. For here, do not shy away from writing even simple to simple examples. Don't think that this is very simple, this is no, we can write that. The more we write, the more we connect, the better it would be presentable. Don't assume anything that examiner must be knowing this. Examiner is saying that if you are knowing it or not. So we will write it that we will tell examiner, yes, we know. So this one is also very manageable, and previous year questions are very important in governance. Every year, previous year question is repeated in another form. E-governance. Multiple times they have asked us challenges and way forward. Why don't you prepare it beforehand only? So last 4 to 5 years previous year question governance, just make your own model answer, enrich it with a lot of good content. For example, in e-governance, there is e-Estonia model where they are very good with cybersecurity, and they save, I think 99% of their economy is digitalized, and they save around 2 to 3% of their GDP. This is my case study. If e-governance question asks, I just write it. You can make it your own. You just Google it. Now there's ChatGPT. You can ask it, just give me one case study related to this, and you find it one and just make it. Previous year question, if you make model answers of governance for 4 to 5 years, at least 1 to 2 question would be repeated from that only. So governance is this. And IR, you will have to do some basics. Basic would be class material, and then current affairs is very important. For this, you would have to read some newspaper every day. Current affairs do read, because it is very dynamic in nature. We do not have same relation with any country which we had 1 month ago, right? So it changes a lot. So just keep an eye on that. Certain themes are question nature of the GS2 is little bit changing. So certain themes are emerging. For example, in 2023, earlier what it used to be, the 4 questions used to 4 questions come from international relation, 2 10 marker, 2 15 marker, and they used to be very predictable earlier, that this would be this. But what happened in 2023? 3 were predictable lines, on the predictable lines, and the 4th one they asked about something maritime security, I guess. And on the 2024, they went little bit ahead with unpredictability. The IR questions were not on very predictable lines. So UPSC doesn't evolve in 1 year. It evolves, it starts giving hints from 2 to 3 years. So we can see that maybe, I cannot predict, but maybe they are evolving IR question as well. So you have to keep themes, what is important from India's perspective. For example, terrorism is very important for us on international arena. Trade is important, climate change, and Indo-Pacific. So certain themes you can jot down, and you can make a framework out of it, that 5 to 6 points that is very relevant on that certain theme. And Maze 365 also covers certain themes. So you can refer that years also, and you can refer to previous years Maze 365 also for themes only. So this is the way. And Maze 365 I read for this mains examination. It covered more or less, because I said no, that it is dynamic, so it comes only before 15-20 days or 1 month before. So it mostly covers for 1 year the entire dynamics, what happened, data also is there. So I used Mains 365 for that. So you just also just keep an eye on themes as well. So you will have to do that. This is for GS2, and then GS3. GS3 we have economy. Economy, again, keywords are very important. Try to write in an economy language. For example, try to use, instead of writing government should reduce its borrowing, let's try to use reduce its fiscal deficit. These type of language, try to use those keywords. You don't have to do anything extra effort. Whatever you have learnt in your basic material, use only those keywords, that would suffice. And economic survey and budget should be quoted a lot. Try to do quotation from it a lot. And if you can remember, if you are reading newspaper all year along, you will also find a lot of Niti Aayog data, or maybe report. If you find it very, very unique, you can jot that down. You don't have to make notes from newspaper, but if you find anything very, very unique examples, very unique data, which catched your curiosity, do write it down. It will not happen every day. It will happen only in a week, once in a week. But do write it down. That would be your unique content. So those you can quote a lot. Then internal security, again, on the predictable lines like governance. Questions are being repeated in a new form. What you have to do is add on from the current affairs only. if you have some basic materials, be it your class notes or whatever books you have read, or if you have created your own notes out of the keywords, you can do that. Here also the syllabus is very well defined. The keywords are already given in the syllabus, and that you can use. And current affairs, mains 365 again. Here mains 365 I did very selectively, like I read the index page. If you have read newspaper all year along, then you will be able to identify the portion which you should read. So you can read that and add that current affairs, and do PYQs also here. Make model answers of from the PYQs for internal security. It is oftenly repeated. The questions, Naxalism oftenly repeated, terrorism oftenly repeated. So these are the portions you have to do. And whatever comes like drones came, I think 2023 paper, that was covered in mains 365. So, or these type of portions are already covered in mains 365, and I think that would suffice. Here also try to learn those keywords that is written in syllabus. Well, it would be beneficial if you learn all the keywords that is written in syllabus, but if not, then at least learn this much and use those type of keywords. And for example, like Naxalism area, Naxalism is asked, you can draw a map of India and show the areas, and if you can mark one or two location where recently any strike would have happened or any big incident have happened, you can mark that also. This would act as an enrichment. Then science and tech, mains 365 was my base material. Here the pointers for almost all the technologies are already given, examples are already given, and it suffices. And the new type of questions, and also please try to look out for any statement given by science minister or electronics minister about new initiatives. This you will have to keep in account. For example, India AI mission is kept in account. You should keep in account. Just try to, if it is, well, it would be covered in the mains 365 if it has been very significant. But if it has not been, then try to read it. One more thing I would like to personally encourage you is, if something is very significant, then also try to rectify it. I'm not saying learn it, rectify. You all know what is rectify. For example, Chandrayaan 3 it was, they asked about payloads, right? I did not shy away from rectifying those payloads. And when I saw Chandrayaan 3 in the actual examination in 2023, I felt very happy. Because I did not know what they were. I just found that I just first wrote because I thought that maybe I'll just forget it. So you will have to do it. See certain things. For example, India AI mission, do not shy away from learning how many GPUs we would be procuring, or how much money, how much subsidy we would be giving. You will not have to do it for everything, but for extra marks, you can do it, right? For science and tech, some things are very significant. For those significant things, just do that. Science and tech and environment. Environment again, PMFIS was my base material. So more or less that things were covered, and mains 365, anything significant that has happened in current affairs, I used that, and it was more than sufficient. In environment also, you can draw a lot of maps. There is a scope of drawing a lot of maps or diagrams and pointing out locations. That is the thing we can do. Disaster management. Disaster management is also, I think, one of the shortest subject. So disaster management also has keywords. It is a technical subject. Treat it like one. Do not have that mindset, I can write this. No. Treat it like a technical subject. Preparedness has a different meaning from mitigation, right? Everything has a different meaning here. Use correct word for correct things. This is only demanded from disaster management, and you will have to write certain examples of cyclones. Do remember the cyclones. For example, this is 2025. If you are writing 2025 means, I would expect you to remember the names of cyclone that have come in Indian Ocean in 2024 and 2025. And if cyclones question come, then you can draw a map that Bay of Bengal cyclones are this, Arabian Sea are this. So you can write in this way. Sendai framework is there. Sendai frameworks has 7 pillars, I guess. So those pillars also you can learn. You can start your introduction with Sendai framework, connecting the whatever is asked using Sendai framework, or in conclusion you can mention Sendai framework. So these are the things that you can do. And disaster management is also very little bit on predictable lines. For each and every disaster, there is already a set guidelines that has already been issued. So you just have to just use those, and whatever is asked, just throw some new examples and you are done with it. This is GS3. Then we come to GS1. GS1 we have history. So history, modern history. Modern history I did not cover it specifically. Modern history I covered via Spectrum book. So that was also my material for mains examination as well. It has enough number of analysis that is required from mains perspective. Here I can do it little bit on the more selectively. Certain things are not, for example, the initial chapters that covers Mughal Empire and all, that is not very much required in mains, so I used to skip those. So if you look at the PYQs of last 5 to 6 years, you will understand what you can skip. So so I did it from that spectrum only. And modern history questions are little bit on the predictable lines. Here also PYQs play a very important role. Art and culture questions. Earlier what used to happen was that they used to ask only about architecture or only about dance or something like that. Now what happens, they give you a dynasty and you have to write. So the more points you write in art and culture, I personally, so my score last year was in the 80s and this year it improved to 97. So I think I am telling you what I think I improved, what I worked on. So what I personally did was, like last year I was not able, last year I think Gupta was asked and Chola was asked. I was not able to write a lot of points. I was only able to write only their art and architecture. But this year, I don't remember which dynasty. I think Pala was asked. No, Pallava was asked. So what I did was, all the major dynasties we have, there are not many. If you prepare enough, I think 10 to 12 dynasties are only significant ones which will have a lot of contribution in art and culture. Just when you read Nitin Singhania, or whenever you read whatever your art and culture's basic source is, just put it in that framework. For example, Gupta, whatever I encountered related to art and culture, architecture, or whatever, like any books that were written in its period, I wrote literature. So just compile that in that format. Otherwise, you will not be able to do. So whatever when we are reading art and culture, we will do that work that time only. We will not spend additional time making those notes. We will just, whenever we are reading, we will just make some dynasty pages differently. Whenever we encounter something new like literature, dance, or any philosophy that has come during that period, or architecture that we have come during that period, I just jot it down, and while revising only. And by the time you end your art and culture, all your book, all the pages would be filled. And those pages which are not filled, we will do certain Google searches, or we will ask ChatGPT. Okay, so you can do that, but you will have to make it in that format. It becomes easier. This is what I personally felt, that that not only from architecture point of view, but in this format also we need those information in dynasty format also. Okay, and whatever the subtopics are in art and culture, like architecture is there, dance is there, music is there, and literature is there, philosophy is there. So you just, in those, you just have to need only one example for each, for those dynasties. This is the art and culture portion. Geography, again, geography is my optional, so I did not feel much problem here, but there are certain questions that are being asked in mains examination. First of all, it is getting trickier in physical geography. For example, Twister was asked this time, Aurora was asked this time. So if you can focus on physical geography portion, it would be good. I think if you are attending classes, classes have more comprehensive coverage compared to NCRTs. Do look for it. Okay, and anything that is in current affairs, please do look for it. That is one thing. And a certain portion, for example, industry portion should be covered very nicely. So industry portion in geography, there are certain certain factors that affect any industry. So those factors should be covered very, very nicely. So if you remember those factors, for example, if you have to set up an industry, what will you look? You will look the resources, raw material, labor, market, these type of things you will look. So transportation, right? So these are the factors for almost every industries, and it would the priority for each industry would change little bit. So whatever industry comes, you can write it in that format. So please do cover industry material as well, industry notes, and little bit on human geography. And I think geography is getting little bit trickier, but again we will have to prioritize. There is limited amount of time, we cannot do a lot of things. So there I think Mehak Jain ma'am, AIR 17, I don't remember her passing year. She has a very good she has a Telegram channel, and she has shared her notes on geography material. It is 15 to 20 pages only. I referred to those. It helped me to enrich that. Okay, and society, I think people who have socio would find it on the bit of an easier end, but society, I personally feel that here also keywords and terminologies are little bit on the are important. Write a little bit, the answer should look like little bit that you have read society. Last year I think this is what I improved this year, so my marks increased. But last year I think I wrote very journal answers, so I got journal marks. So try to do that and try to incorporate examples in that. So examples, whatever you see, you will have to write. And newspaper, you would be encountering a lot of examples, or you would be encountering through movies as well. Lapata ladies movies, right? You can use those references as well, or because that practice actually happens, this type of practices. So you can use whatever you learned, like that type of things also can be written. Okay, and moving on to GS4. GS4, the earlier questions used to be very direct in nature, but now the question are getting little bit trickier. The question you will feel that it is very journal in nature, but those are not. So how we will do it? We will do it by using the keywords that is given in the syllabus. So for GS4, you will have to learn the entire syllabus. Just learn those keywords, and you will have to use those keywords. Try to connect, for example, any tough question or quotation is given, try to connect which part of syllabus it is from. If you just connect that dot, your entire content would be in your mind, and then you can modify those content to fit it in that framework for which it is asked. So first step is this: whatever it is given, even if you are not able to understand directly, just try to just think for a moment. There are only 7 pillars, right? And it is, I think, case studies, something like that. Just try to connect from which part of the syllabus it is, or if you're not able to, which part it is closest to. Is it attitude? Is it aptitude? It is what? Just connect that. Try to just remember certain content which has been taught in your classes, and just try to use those keywords to answer those questions. You can also use philosophy that you read, or whatever everyone I think has certain own moral values and systems. Some people would be very much inspired maybe by Vivekanand ji, or maybe Bhagavad Gita, or maybe any Western philosopher, or whatever it is. You can use those tenets also to write those answer in ethics. This is what I did. And in case studies also, one thing, how to write case studies, I think it is sufficiently taught in classes. What I personally felt that I got decent marks is, in case studies, just do not write steps. Write why do you want to use that step. Whatever you write, use some moral justification for it. Okay, for example, if someone says that, see, the questions in the ethics paper or UPSC would never be easy. It would be always some black and white or gray area people. It would not be black and white. It would be something in gray zone. It would not be easy. And there is no right and wrong question in those questions. Okay, so whatever you are providing that you will do this. For example, there is a very old woman who is very destitute, but she doesn't have Aadhaar card, and she comes to you that for food, and if you are given an order that you should not provide food to her if she doesn't have her Aadhaar card. Even if you write that I will provide, it can be justified, but you will not write like that. If you means I'm giving an example, right? You are future civil servants, so what you will have to write is which is legal, which is constitutional. Okay, you will not write anything illegal. We will not become Robin Hood. We will do only legal work. Okay, because there would be many ethical dilemmas. Always you will have to follow constitution and legal. I'm just giving an example. So if you say that I will provide food to her, so you just do not say that I will provide food to her. Why do you want to provide food to her? Maybe you want to provide food to her because in the constitution it is your fundamental duty. You can connect to it, means something like that. Or maybe from DPSP portion you can connect to it. Or maybe there must be, in every scheme I think there is certain exceptions as well. If you know that, you can also provide that example. Just do not write plainly. Write the moral justification or the reason for it. In ethics, your words will not be taken to be true. Your words would be taken to be true and right if you provide a justification for it. You have to provide justification for it. Just do not write plainly in ethics case studies or it is. Okay, this is overall, and examples also, ethics examples. You will have to write a lot of examples. Do prepare a list of civil servants who have done in various means good work. So one source I can tell you some new from where you can get some new one. So every year I think Indian Express provides certain awards. I think some excellence award to civil services in different domains. For certain their initiatives. So you can prepare from that for 1 year, from 2024 or 2023, every year they give. So these are the ones that are newer examples because everyone writes certain example. For example, Ashok Khemka sir example is very famous. So if you want some novelty, you can refer to these type of examples as well, and do also prepare some negative examples from civil services as well. It can be used in questions like corruption and misuse of power. So these examples would be needed. Apart from that, journal examples and examples here you can show creativity also. You can use examples from movies, web series, anything which is relevant. Do not use any controversial example, please. Please, whichever is socially social justice movies are there a lot of which have very critically acclaimed. Those movies example you can use, or whatever you have observed that can also be used, and those things can be used in here. And be creative with ethics. You can use your creativity here. You have a lot of scope to be creative. Okay, this was my mains. Okay, on essay I do not want to comment because my essays score have not been very good, so I do not know how to score well in that examination. So sorry for that. Anything from GS papers mains perspective? Any questions? Yes.
You follow any hard fast rule for answer writing? Like we have that 753 and all those rules for answer writing. 7 minutes, 5 points and 3-dimensional explanation.
Okay. So time management have to be very strict. So you all know that 11 minutes for 15 markers, 7 minutes for 10 marker. If you do not follow it, you will either leave some questions, which I very discourage. I do not want you to leave any question. Okay, so you will have to practice time management, and each question have to be written in time limit only. So some questions would be there which you do not know at all. There you will have to save some time. You can write, like, if you know only 2 to 3 lines and you know that you do not know anything. For example, in 2023 there was some question on biofuels or something. I did not know a lot of content. I had only 2 to 3 lines. I wrote that only in 2 to 3 minutes. I saved time from that. You will have to do that. Do not think that in the initial question I will spend 10 minutes instead of 7. You will not gain any additional marks for that. So you have to manage your time very well. Again, I also encourage that you at least try to write 4 or 5 points. I encourage that 4 points should be written at least in each dimension. 5 is good, 6 is better, 7 no. It's done. Okay. Dimension, yeah, it is 4 to 6 points is enough. But if you really have nothing else to write and there is only one dimension for 15 marker, then you can write 10, 12 points, whatever you want. That is 2. 3 dimension would be decided on the basis of question. There would be certain question which will have only 2 dimension. There would be also question where it would have 4 to 5 dimension. I think Chandrayaan 3 question in 2023 was of that kind. I think it has 4 to 5 dimensions. So that is the thing. But it was so short dimension that I cannot write 4 or 5 points. It only asked about the payloads. There is only 4 or 5 payloads. How would I write more, right? So in those portions you can do that. But we will try that dimension should be according to questions only. One thing what I personally did is, whenever it asked about challenges and did not ask about solution or way forward, I just provided it from my end, even if it meant skipping conclusion. I skipped conclusion if it was, for example, it was 15 marker, I have already filled 2.5 pages, and if I write way forward, there would be no space for conclusion. No problem, I will write way forward but not conclusion. Or if I do not have 3-4 points for way forward, so my conclusion was futuristic. That 2 points way forward I just wrote in paragraph. That was my conclusion. I never ended any question in a negative tone. Whatever challenges was asked, negative things were asked, I always provided positive things. So this is this, and dimension should be decoded from the basis of question itself. One thing more I would like to add, some question even in GS3 or GS2 or GS1, there would be one statement first or one quotation first. There would be no question. Then from the second statement, they would ask the question, right? Why UPSC has wasted those much words? Acknowledge that. Write something about that first statement. It is there for a reason. Do not think that this is the only question, I will write this. In the introduction itself, you can write certain thing that examiner sees that, yeah, I have seen this, or sometimes it gives background. In the introduction, you can try to connect that with the first statement or the quotation. Try to acknowledge that sometimes that statement would be like that you need to write one more dimension. Try to understand what is being asked. Same question, if it is added with the quotation, the meaning changes completely. Try to decode the hidden meaning, that what is being asked. So this is you have to do, and dimension you have to understand from the question itself. Anything else regarding mains GS? Yes. Thank you.
I would like to ask, because from 1 or 2 years we are seeing there are very long case studies in GS paper 4. So ma'am, how to manage time, because the time is limited for GS paper 4. So ma'am, as we are seeing case studies are very long. So ma'am, how to?
Yes. First of all, my time limit for GS4, 15 minutes each for each case study, 90 minutes left for 13 question. ideally it should be 91 minutes because 7 minutes each. So 1 minute I have to manage anyway. So that you will manage if you are in flow. If you have written so many answers, then you will manage 1 minute anyhow. So 15 minutes, in 15 minutes reading and writing, it should be done completely. Now what I do is, when the paper is given to 5 minutes in advance, okay, I try to read. You cannot write anything, but you can read. In most of the centers you can read, and here is, I think in Lucknow there is only one center and it allows to read. So okay, what I try to do is I open the test paper and read only one case study very nicely, diligently, and try to make up all my points in my head, so that as soon as bell rings, I try to complete that first case study maybe in 12 to 13 minutes. And if you are able to do that, there is no problem at all. You can devote 16 minutes to other case studies maybe. So that is my strategy. But first I read those questions, then I read the what is written above. First read questions so that your mind is active while reading that, okay, this point I will have to write, this point I have to write. So this is one thing. So try to make use of those 5 minutes in advance. And if you are lucky and you have read one case study in 2 minutes and you have 2 minutes more, then you can read one more case study. So those initial 5 minutes in ethics paper is very important. So try to make those. Otherwise, what you can do is, there are I think 4 pages or so. You can you can practice writing 3.5 pages only. You can save some words. If your reading speed is not that fast, or maybe on your center the paper was not given in advance, you try to save some words. Maybe instead of writing completely to 4 pages, maybe you have written 3 pages complete and 3/4 more, or maybe 3.5 pages more, because attempting more questions would be better than just filling to the end. So this is one strategy you can follow. Okay, anything else?
ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शन के लिए कुछ जो आपके लिए हेल्प किया गुड स्कोर अचीव करने में, तो हम कुछ टिप्स या उसके लिए कुछ स्ट्रेटेजी
वो एंड में करें, क्योंकि यहाँ बाकी जीएस वाले हैं ना, वो पहले कंप्लीट करते हैं. यू कैन आस्क मी इन द एंड, राइट? Yes, okay. So I wrote 2 papers for each GS, and I wrote Abhyas test series. So that was 3 test paper for each GS, and I wrote last 3 years mains PYQs, almost every question. That is more than sufficient. So test papers were for practice that, and for daily answer writing practice. In the mains you will have to write daily. For where will I get questions to write daily? That was PYQs only. So I wrote PYQs daily. I started from the most recent year, then I went back to 3 years. That was that. Anything else? Ideally, when your content gathering and your notes should be compiled much before the examination. I personally believe that at least 60-70% preparation of mains should have been done before the prelims examination itself. And the first month after prelims, you can do some work on content gathering, but last month or last 1.5 months or 2 months, you should focus on more on answer writing and revision. That is the thing. Okay, anything else regarding GS?
Compulsory language papers.
So if you are from Hindi background, you won't face any problem in Hindi compulsory paper, and if you are from English background, you will not face any problem for English background. Very simple thing, very simple paper it is, and you have a lot of time there to write those. You can think and write, no issue. For Hindi, what I did before 15 days of the examination, I used to read just 1 page of Hindi newspaper. So that helped me just to see. We all know that language, right? When it is spoken to us, or when we watch movies which is very old, we all understand those things. But what problem happens is that we are not able to gather the correct word at that time. So for that, you just need some warm up and priming. So for that, I just read 15 days or maybe 20 days before examination, Hindi newspaper, one page, and just covered. I got one book of solved Hindi PYQ compulsory paper, and just did a 10 years paper. I read entirely 10 years paper, and it was more than sufficient for me. You can do that, but if you personally feel that you are facing more problem, then you can also practice writing entire paper of the last 2 to 3 years, and you can also practice some essays if you are facing more problem in that. I personally did not feel so much problem, so I did not do that, but I would still encourage, but do not take it lightly. You have to do your due diligence based upon your capability. Okay, so should I share about something about my interview? Okay, so I will first share my first interview experience, and second then about this year's. Okay, so my interview was on March 11th, 2024 in the afternoon slot. So there are two slots, in the one in morning and one in afternoon. I went inside, and first they just collect your documents and just do verification, and I was first one to go. So I did not even know what has happened. They do not tell you whose board you are in. You just, when you go, then you get to know. So I did not feel any anxiety that time, because there was no time to feel anxiety. I was just in documenting process. Then they said, let's go. So that happened, and it was Lieutenant General Raj Shukla sir's board. And the first question he asked was, where are you from and what is so famous about it? So the first thing that came into my mind regarding Gonda is sugarcane. So sugarcane is an important crop of Gonda, and then the entire the initial 5 minutes it went towards sugar and diabetes. And then he said that why this UP people make so many peda. Every district has its own peda. We eat, he said that he was also from Kanpur and Lucknow area, and he said that at my home when I was growing up, that we eat jalebi in as breakfast. Who eats that? So these things continued. So then he asked about so they have your DAF, and I was already working as software engineer. I have worked as software engineer before. So he came to artificial intelligence, and regarding that it was asked about artificial intelligence. And then there are 5 members. So then there was one ma'am, and ma'am asked about little bit about public healthcare system and Campa fund. It was in news that time. So those were things. Then she also asked about artificial intelligence, how we can use it in health. Then the third person was sir, and sir asked about artificial intelligence, new question about artificial intelligence, and certain things from which was in news. For example, what is Meghalaya age? He asked. Day before it was in Indian Express. So I remember what it was, but why it was called Meghalaya age, I did not read that. I did not expect that. And apart from that, in DAF about sports, whatever sports I had written, he asked about that. And then there was one more sir on the next side. Then he also asked about artificial intelligence. Then he asked about I written watching TV something English sitcom shows in my hobby. So then he related artificial intelligence to Netflix and those era things. Then the 5th person was there. That was also sir. Then he also asked about artificial intelligence. So he asked about on other topics also, that what is Bermuda Triangle? Means out of nowhere. Then I took some seconds. Why is he asking me about Bermuda Triangle out of nowhere? Then I told him, sir, this is this. Then he asked about more. Then he asked one very interesting question. which I still think about it a lot. Then he said that, do you think that there would be a time when there would be an species which would be half machine and half human? So I think he was trying to check creativity levels. Fortunately, I had seen something like that on a YouTube video before, and there's one book on by Dan Brown, Origins, if you have heard of it. Certain references like that was made in that. So based upon that, I just gave an answer, and then discussion about that hypothetical scenarios continued. So my overall experience was that it was very different from what I experienced during mocks. Mocks was on the little bit on the predictable lines, what you have written in your DAF. They ask you what your background or from where you are, but and they had asked me about artificial intelligence in mock, but there they had very creative questions on artificial intelligence. So it was more like a discussion and hypothetical situations, like when we sit with our friends in our college, we often discuss agar ye hota to kya hota. It happened little bit on that lines. So it was a very good moment. And this year my interview was on 4th of April, and again Lieutenant General Raj Shukla sir's board only, but the other 4 members were different this time. And because I was already in IPS, so we started with external and internal security challenges, and then he went ahead with the space intelligence, collection of intelligence, and space militarization, these type of topics. And then what is China doing along the LAC, and how we are not prepared, and Starlink satellite communication, on these lines. And other 2 members were also, like, I had written Kathak dance in my DAF, so he asked about Kathak dance and on those lines. And at the end, there was one ma'am. She was, I think she loved movies, watching movies very much. So she was interested in type of movies I watched, or a nepotism debate in Bollywood, that type. And last, sir, the person who was at the end, sir, he was looking at my DAF, then he closed it and set it aside. And then he said, do you like to read? And I have not written anything regarding reading. But then first 10 seconds I thought, okay, why this question? But I thought that he said that, but then I mentioned about one book that, yes sir, I sometimes read, and I have read this book, How to Kill a Mockingbird. I mentioned about that. So he had read that book. So we continued conversing on that what is its theme, what happened at the end, and the narrator's point of view. So that was it. And again, this time, the question were more serious compared to last year. Last year was more hypothetical and conversational, and this year it was more a little bit on the trickier, not trickier end, but more on the depth and knowledge based. But overall experience was very good. Little bit on the unpredictable end. Because they all in the interview panel, they always maintain a phase that you will not be able to understand that whatever you are saying, they are getting convinced or not. Are you doing well or not? You do not able to understand that. So hopefully, fortunately, I got a very good score. So, but I was a little bit on doubt because Shukla sir was making little bit on faces. So I was not, I felt that, but it is a very, interview is very different from mocks, but mocks is very important for practicing how to present yourself and what to say and what areas can be important. For example, Kathak questions, and these questions were asked on the very predictable lines. But overall, the environment on the interview day is very different from what you experience, and it is I can say once in a lifetime experience. And hopefully you all get only one experience and make it to the list, and not try to do it multiple times, but it is a very good experience. So that was that, and that was my journey. Apart from that, if you have any other questions which I had not covered, for example, there was one person related to notes I did not answer, and here we can answer that or you have any other questions for me to interact, I can do that. Otherwise, this was end from my end. So, any questions? Notes? Anything you said? Yeah.
regarding me मैं उसमें टाइम बहुत लगता है आई मीन आई स्टार्ट में प्रिपरेशन फॉर लास्ट 2 मंथ्स जस्ट लास्ट 2 मंथ्स और मैम आंसर राइटिंग में टाइम बहुत लगता है एटलीस्ट एक क्वेश्चन लिखने में एक असाइनमेंट लिखने में इट टेक्स मोर देन 25 मिनट्स
No problem at all. When I started writing answer, the first answer I wrote was a 10 marker and I wrote it in 45 minutes. But when you practice, when your knowledge base expands, you will start writing it. Even after I cleared prelims of 2023, the first test I wrote was in 4 hours 45 minutes, and it had to be written in 3 hours. Okay, but even in 3 months by regular practice I improved. So first you have to develop your answer writing skill. Don't worry for time right now, assuming that you would be attempting next year, right? You're attempting next year 27. Oh my god, then there is no problem at all. Just try to understand how to write the best answer you can. Once you develop that, when you reach your very you say peak level or consistent level of answer writing, then we can start working on the time limit. Do not worry about that. It will come with practice and with more and more revisions. The more you revise, you will the better you would be able to think faster. You would be able to think and faster you would be able to write. First try to develop that. No issues. It will come with time, with practice. Just practice.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Yes.
Ma'am, it was my first attempt. I'm going to give on 25th of May. As
Okay.
soon as the paper is coming, my anxiety level every day is going on peak.
Okay, so this is a very natural process. Anxiety always, if you're getting anxious or nervous, it means that you care about it. Only then you will get nervous or anxious. It happens with everyone, but still I would highly encourage that you should cater to it. How you can. So I used to talk to my sister a lot in those periods. I used to tell her, and try to sleep properly. If you sleep, then your stress level comes down, and it would be better. It happens to everyone. It is a very natural process. Try to develop ways to counter it. It would be your own way. Maybe you can take a walk, means 15 minutes in the evening or in the end. That could happen. So it's okay.
Ma'am, what is your timetable for 1 year in preparation?
Timetable. I generally used to wake up around 7:15 or 7:30 or so, and first I used to study newspaper. Newspaper is around 1.5 years or 1.5 hour or 1 hour maximum. When in the later years it came down to 40-45 minutes. That's it. And I used to divide my day into 2 halves. In the first half I used to cover one subject, and in the second half I used to cover a different subject. Generally it would be 3.5 or 4 hour slot. That's it. 2 hours, and then I think I used to study around 7-8 hours a day. 1 year. During examination I used to push it to maybe 9.5 or 10 hours, not more than that ever. Maybe 10.5 hours would be maximum, nothing more than that. And that was it. Like first half was used to be around 12:30 or so, then a break little bit to 2:30 or so, where I used to had a lunch and just relax for 1 hour. Then again, that was my timetable.
मैम जैसे हम लोग वो लिखते हैं आंसर राइटिंग, जैसे मेरा RV3 बैच है, मतलब अभी ज्वाइन किया अप्रैल में ही. क्वेश्चन सर देते हैं लिखने के लिए, कहाँ से चालू कर समझ में नहीं आता है क्वेश्चन को लिखने का.
हाँ, सी अभी वो आपने भी स्टार्ट किया है. आप प्रैक्टिस के साथ साथ सीख जाएंगे. आप अभी नॉलेज थोड़ा बेस आपका बढ़ेगा, तो आपका जैसे नॉलेज बढ़ता है, आपके क्लासेस और लगेंगी, फिर आप और क्वेश्चंस देखेंगे, आप धीरे धीरे सीख जाएंगे. आप अभी तो मैं नहीं कहूंगी, पर कुछ टाइम बाद जैसे थोड़ा और नॉलेज हो जाए, क्योंकि अभी आपको समझ में हो सकता कम आए, बट थोड़ा और टाइम हो जाए, 3-4 महीने बाद आप टॉपर आंसर कॉपी देख सकते हैं. किसी की भी, जैसे जिनकी रैंक 1 आई है, आप उनकी देख सकते हैं, इस साल की, पिछले साल की, आप उनकी देखना शुरू कर सकते हैं। अभी शायद आपको वो इतना काम नहीं करेंगी क्योंकि अभी आपका नॉलेज बेस लिमिटेड है, क्योंकि आपने जल्दी स्टार्ट किया है। जैसे ही अभी 2-4 महीने 5 महीने बाद आपको और ज्यादा समझ में आएगा, तो आप उसको देखिए, आप उसको ट्राई करेंगे कि हाँ हम इस तरीके से लिखना शुरू कर सकते हैं, इनकॉर्पोरेट करना शुरू कर सकते हैं। देखिए ये प्रोसेस है, आप धीरे धीरे बढ़ेंगे, एक बार में सब नहीं होता है, पर हो जाता है। हम सब लोग उसी में हैं, हम भी 45 मिनट्स में पहला आंसर लिखे हैं, हमको भी डर लगता था कभी मेरा पेपर टाइम से होगा कि नहीं होगा, पर धीरे धीरे प्रैक्टिस से सब हो जाएगा, आपसे भी होगा,
एट द एंड हो जाएगा।
सब हो जाएगा। आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो सब हो जाएगा। आपको बस रेगुलरली प्रैक्टिस करना होगा, कोई इशू नहीं है।
थैंक यू।
हाँ, एनीथिंग एल्स? अच्छा, कि ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल किसी और का भी है? ओके, तो आप लोग को मैं बाद ही में बता देती हूँ, सब लोग नहीं तो बैठ के सुनेंगे, क्या फायदा। ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में मैं एक दो चीज, हाँ, तो ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल, एक चीज तो मैं बाकी ऑप्शनल के लिए भी जो मुझे ट्रू लगती है, मतलब मैंने जिन लोगों से बात भी की है, कि आप स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स को जरूर रिफर करें। आपको एंड टू एंड स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स नहीं पढ़नी होती हैं, बट रिफर जरूर करनी होती हैं, तो स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स को आप नेग्लेक्ट ना करें। मैंने जब नेग्लेक्ट की थी तो मेरा पिछली बार स्कोर मतलब 260s में था, और इस बार मेरा इम्प्रूव हुआ है 287 पे। तो मैंने क्या चेंज किया, मैंने स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स को चेंज किया। ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में माजिद हुसैन की मैंने पढ़ी थी पेपर 2 के लिए, और पेपर 1 के लिए तो आपको इतनी नहीं करनी पड़ती है, बट पेपर 2 में ये है। और इंटर कनेक्शन करें, जैसे इंडियन ज्योग्राफी वगैरह है, तो जैसे हिमालयाज वगैरह भी यूज़ हो रहे हैं, तो आप उसमें कोबर की थ्योरी, जियोसिंक्लाइन वाली, ये सब आप यूज़ करें। उसके साथ साथ आपको क्या करना है कि डायग्राम्स खूब सारे बनाएं, तो डायग्राम्स आपको बुक से ही मिल जाएंगे। जो टफ होंगे उसको आप सिंप्लीफाई कर लें, कोई इशू नहीं है, आप सिंप्लीफाई उसको कर लेंगे, वो करें। जो डेटा दिया रहता है ना बुक में, रॉ डेटा, उनको आप 3, जैसे पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी का डेटा है तो आपको सब नहीं आप ऐसे यूज कर सकते हैं, आप उसका बार ग्राफ 3, जैसे आपको 3 जो सबसे ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन डेंसिटी में जो सबसे बड़े स्टेट्स हैं उनका यूज करके आप बार ग्राफ एक क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। ये सब चीजें करें, ये आपको करना है। और ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में भी आई थिंक क्वेश्चंस रिपीट होते हैं बहुत, तो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन आप जरूर 7-8 साल का सारे लिखे नहीं तो कम से कम ब्रेन स्टॉर्म कर लें, मतलब 2-2 मिनट आप क्वेश्चन लें और उसको ब्रेन स्टॉर्म करें कि इसमें क्या लिखा जा सकता है, क्या केस स्टडी यूज हो सकती है, ये तो जरूर कर लें पिछले 5-6-7 साल का। और जिसपे आपके पास कंटेंट नहीं है, जिस प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पे, उसका आप कंटेंट इकट्ठा कर लें, क्योंकि क्या पता आपको यूज हो जाए। तो प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन जरूर से देख लें सारे, ठीक है। 5 ईयर तो नहीं, मैं तो 8 साल 10 साल का मैं कहूँगी। 5 साल आप जीएस के लिए काफ़ी हैं, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन मेंस में, बट इसके लिए तो मतलब ऑप्शनल के लिए, ज्योग्राफी के लिए स्पेशली तो मैं तो कहूँगी 8-10 साल आप देख लें। सबको लिखे नहीं पर पढ़ तो सभी लें। आपको रिपीटेड जो लगेगा आपको नहीं करना है ना वो क्वेश्चन, आप तो एक बार कर चुके हैं, जो आप उसको कट कर दें कि ये रिपीटेड है जो है, पर ब्रेन स्टॉर्म तो एटलीस्ट कर ही लें। लिखे नहीं तो देख तो सबके सारे क्वेश्चन देखा हुआ होना चाहिए आपका। ये सविंद्र सिंह की जो बुक है फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी की, वो से उससे सारे हो जाते हैं लगभग। जो इस बार भी ट्रंकेटेड इस पर आया था, या पिछली बार भी कोई तो आया था, याद नहीं आ रहा है, एक 2022 में शायद अल्टीप्लेनेशन आया था। ये सारे वर्ड्स की जो हैं सब सविंद्र सिंह में अवेलेबल हैं। तो आप एक बार सविंद्र सिंह अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ी हो, रिफर करने का टाइम हो, तो आप एक बार देख सकते हैं, उसमें है अवेलेबल। अगर उससे बाहर आए सविंद्र सिंह से तो छोड़ देना, किसी को नहीं आता है, पर जिसने सविंद्र सिंह पढ़ी है उसको आता है वो, ठीक है। तो मैंने प्रीलिम्स के जब 25 डेज लास्ट बचे थे, जैसे 20 डेज, तो मैं पहले से पीछे से शुरू करती हूँ, पीछे से बनाना कि हमको सारे सिलेबस रिवाइज करने हैं। तो कैसे है, तो लास्ट वाला जो राउंड होता था वो एक एक दिन या डेढ़ दिन में जैसे पॉलिटी रिवाइज हो जाती थी। अगर आप 3-4 बार रिवाइज करेंगे तो आपसे भी एक दिन में हो जाएगी रिवाइज, कोई इशू नहीं होता इतना। अगर आपने रट लिया है, या मतलब रटना क्या, आपने वो किया, देखिए कुछ चीज़ें तो रटनी पड़ती हैं। हाँ, तो आप पीछे से आप शुरू करें कि हम जैसे अगर 25 को है तो 24 को तो आपको खाली रखना पड़ेगा, आपको अगर ट्रेवल करना है या कुछ और इशू है तो 23 को 22 को फिर क्या है पीछे से शुरू करें। और लास्ट के दिन बस मैंने क्या करती थी, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करती थी। मैं क्या करा था, 2024 में 2023, 2022, 2021 का पेपर पूरा प्रिंट करा लिया था। कोई बुक नहीं, जो पेपर होता है ना वो प्रिंट करा लिया था कि मैं उसको प्रैक्टिस करूंगी कि 2-3 साल के पेपर हो। हाँ, वो वाली चीज मैं तो 8-10 क्वेश्चन ही आप देख लो, कोई जरूरी नहीं है पूरा। मेरा जो स्ट्रेटेजी मैं वो बता रही हूँ, क्योंकि लास्ट में मैं टेस्ट नहीं ज्यादा सॉल्व करती थी। मेरा स्ट्रेटेजी रहती थी कि मैं क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूँ तो PYQ सॉल्व करूंगी, मैं ये करती थी। और वही बेसिक रिवीजन ही करना है आपको लास्ट के 20 दिन में। जितना आप बेसिक रिवीजन करेंगे, जो भी आपका करंट अफेयर्स का रिसोर्सेज जो आपने अभी तक की रिवीजन का होगा, जैसे मेरे PT 365 वो रिवीजन करना है और CSAT प्रैक्टिस करना है, यही करना है। आपको टेस्ट सॉल्व करना है तो आप टेस्ट भी सॉल्व कर सकते हैं अगर आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी है, पर आप लास्ट में ज्यादा कुछ नया नहीं करना है। जो रिवाइज कर चुके हैं, जो पढ़े हैं, बेसिक ही करना है, कुछ नया नहीं करना है। और लास्ट में आपको वो अपना स्ट्रेटेजी आपकी होपफुली 2 महीने पहले तक की तो डेवलप हो जानी चाहिए कि आपकी एक्चुअल स्ट्रेटेजी क्या रहनी है। मैंने आपको बताया जैसे मेरी स्ट्रेटेजी क्या थी, तो वैसे ही आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी खुद की जो भी होगी वो उसी पे ही टिके रहना है। कोई नई स्ट्रेटेजी के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करना है एंड में। और CSAT प्रैक्टिस करना है डेली। मैं करती थी मतलब 2 घंटे डेली CSAT प्रैक्टिस लास्ट के 1 महीने में, तो ये किया था।
CSAT में जैसे जो मैथ में जो आते हैं ना क्वेश्चंस, तो पर्सनली मुझे लगता है कि टाइम टेकिंग, जैसे मैं सॉल्व करता हूँ तो एक क्वेश्चन टेक 3-4-5 मिनट्स,
तो कोई उसमें इशू नहीं है। कुछ तो होंगे ना जो थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाते होंगे, तो आप पहले उनको कर लें और आपको वो वाले स्किप करें जो आपको वही मैंने कहा ना कि आपको प्रैक्टिस से ही पता चलेगा कि कौन सा आपसे टाइम टेकिंग है। तो मुझे पढ़ के समझ में आने लगा था कि ये वाला मेरा टाइम टेकिंग है। तो आपको जो लगे पढ़ के कि ये मेरे से 5 से 6 मिनट में सॉल्व होगा, तो आप उसको स्किप कर दें। आप उसको या तो गोला बना दें कि हम अगर टाइम बचेगा और मेरे नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कम हो रहे हैं, समय बच गया, तो मैं आऊंगा इस पे।
पहले क्या पैसेज पहले करना चाहिए या फिर
वो तो आपके ऊपर है। मैं पर्सनली स्टार्टिंग के 15 मिनट पैसेज करती थी, फिर थोड़ा सा टाइम मैथ्स, फिर रीजनिंग, और लास्ट के 15 मिनट फिर पैसेज करती थी। ये मेरा था पर्सनल, ये मेरे लिए वर्क करता था। आप अपना देखें कि मतलब मुझे ऐसा पर्सनली ऐसा लगता था कि मैं पैसेज देखिए हो ही जाते हैं, भले गलत ही क्यों ना हो, पैसेज का आंसर तो आएगा। रीजनिंग और क्वांट में आंसर तो आएगा, नहीं आएगा ये कंफर्म नहीं है, पैसेज का आंसर तो आएगा। तो मुझे चाहिए था कि स्टार्टिंग के 15 मिनट में कम से कम 7-8 क्वेश्चन तो हो जाएं, कम से कम मेंटल जो प्रेशर होता है वो कम हो जाए। क्योंकि हो सकता है कि क्वांट आपने करने बैठे, आपने 3-4 क्वेश्चन की और एक का भी आंसर नहीं आया, तो मेंटल प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है। तो मैं पैसेज करती हूँ 15 मिनट कि हाँ 7-8 है
विजन का। तो अभी उसमें यही हो रहा है कि पहले मतलब मैथ किया तो पॉइंट और रीजनिंग, तो वो मतलब जैसे 22 से 25 क्वेश्चन करने हैं तो 1 घंटा निकल जा रहा है उसी में, 1 घंटा 10 मिनट, क्योंकि टाइम इतना वो
यही इसीलिए मैं 15 पहले
पैसेज के लिए टाइम नहीं बचा, फिर 15 या 17 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो रहे पैसेज के।
तो यही मैं करती थी कि पहले 15 मिनट पैसेज कर लो, आंसर आ गए, OMR में लग गए, 7-8 क्वेश्चन हो जाते हैं 15 मिनट में पैसेज के, तो उसका लगा लिया। फिर मैं मैथ्स करती थी क्योंकि वो टाइम टेकिंग है और उसमें आप प्रेशर में मैथ्स नहीं होती है। ठीक है, अब आप 7-8 क्वेश्चन 15 मिनट में कर लिए तो आपका थोड़ा सा स्ट्रेस लेवल डाउन है और आप अगले 45 मिनट आप फोकस कर सकते हैं मैथ्स में, क्योंकि अभी बहुत ज्यादा टेंशन वाला माहौल नहीं है पहले घंटे में। आप आराम से वो करिए। फिर जैसे 1 घंटा हो जाता था फिर मैं रीजनिंग के क्वेश्चन करती थी 40 मिनट्स और लास्ट के 15 से 20 मिनट फिर पैसेज करती थी। तो ये मेरा था स्ट्रेटेजी। तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आप प्रेशर में आ जाते हैं स्टार्टिंग में ही 15-20 मिनट में, तो आप भी पैसेज से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं कि पैसेज आप पहले 15 मिनट, ज्यादा नहीं, पूरा पैसेज सारे नहीं करने एक साथ, पहले 10-15 मिनट ही करिए, 7-8 क्वेश्चन लगा दीजिए कि आपका मेंटल प्रेशर कम रहे। आप प्रेशर में अगर आए तो मैथ सब 2+2 भी 5 हो जाता है अगर प्रेशर हो जाता है। हाँ, तो आप थोड़ा सा उसमें शांति बनाए रखें। ये
हेलो मैम।
हाँ जी
मैम, जीएस और ऑप्शनल को अगर एक साथ कर रहे हैं तो जीएस को कितना टाइम देना और ऑप्शनल को कितना टाइम देना सही रहेगा, और जीएस को एक दिन में कितने सब्जेक्ट कर सकते हैं जीएस के?
देखिए मुझे तो ऐसा पर्सनली लगता था कि मैं एक दिन में 2 ही सब्जेक्ट कर पाऊंगी। 3 मैंने ट्राई करके देखा, वो मेरे लिए नहीं जचा था। तो डिपेंड करता है कि किस चीज को ज्यादा जरूरत है। जैसे अब अगर आप ऑप्शनल नया नया पढ़ रहे हैं तो आप ऑप्शनल को मे बी 60% दे सकते हैं टाइम, और 40% आपका जीएस का रहेगा, क्योंकि ऑप्शनल में है भी तो 2 पेपर। अगर ऑप्शनल में मार्क्स भी आने के स्कोप ज्यादा होता है, आप 300 प्लस ला सकते हैं ऑप्शनल में, बट से मतलब 150 इन ए पेपर, बट 150 आपके जीएस में किसी भी पेपर में नहीं आएंगे, मिलते ही नहीं है। तो आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं। बट जब प्रीलिम्स पास में आने लगे तो मे बी आप उसका रेशियो 50-50% कर सकते हैं। जैसे 5-6 महीने बाद प्रीलिम्स है, पर आप अभी भी ऑप्शनल पढ़ सकते हैं, तो 50-50% पढ़ सकते हैं कि आपको ये लगे कि हाँ प्रीलिम्स की भी कुछ कुछ तैयारी हो ही रही है। और प्रीलिम्स के 4-5 में, अगर आपने जैसे मई में प्रीलिम्स है, जून में प्रीलिम्स है, और आपने पहले कभी प्रीलिम्स नहीं निकाला है, तो आप उस साल के जनवरी से केवल प्रीलिम्स पे फोकस कर लीजिए, या केवल जीएस पे फोकस कर लीजिए जो प्रीलिम्स पे काम आए। अगर आपने एक बार प्रीलिम्स पहले निकाला हुआ है तो आप 3 महीने पहले तक की आप ऑप्शनल थोड़ा थोड़ा कर सकते हैं, बट टाइम कम हो जाएगा 30% और 70%। जब प्रीलिम्स क्लियर हो जाए तो पहला जो मंथ होता है आप उसमें ऑप्शनल में मैक्सिमम टाइम दे सकते हैं, 60% और सो। बट जब 1-1.5-2 महीने बचेंगे तो आपको 50-50 करके करना पड़ेगा। और फिर जब 15 दिन एग्जाम के बचेंगे तो आपको 60% जीएस को, और फिर उसका टाइम कम करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि जीएस के पेपर पहले होंगे, और आपको 5 दिन मिलते हैं बीच में ऑप्शनल के लिए। तो इस हिसाब से आप कर सकते हैं। मतलब कितना समय बचा है उसके बेसिस पे डिपेंड करेगा, और कितना क्या आपका चल रहा है, मतलब ऑप्शनल का चल रहा है कि क्या है, उसके बेसिस पे डिपेंड करेगा।
मैम जीएस का सिर्फ एक ही सब्जेक्ट एक दिन में लेकर चले हैं?
वो डिपेंड आप करते हैं। अगर आप 3 कर पाए तो आप 3 कर लीजिए। मुझे 2 लगता था तो मैं 2 करती थी। आपको करना है, वो आपके ऊपर है। आप 2, 3, 4 आप जैसा भी करें वो आपके ऊपर है। मुझे थोड़े से ज्यादा जैसे चाहिए रहता था कि मैं अगर कोई सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रही हूँ तो 3-4 घंटे तो मिले ही पढ़ने के लिए, पर अगर मैं 3-4 सब्जेक्ट करूंगी तो 1 घंटे से ऊपर कहाँ निकलेगा, 1-1.5-2 घंटा, क्योंकि कभी कभी वो स्पिल ओवर भी हो जाता है। तो वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप क्या करना चाहेंगे। ठीक है।
How you have utilized the for the mains after prelims?
Means
मतलब how have you have utilized your time after the prelims for GS and the optional part?
तो पहले वही कि इनिशियली जैसे प्रीलिम्स हो गया, प्रीलिम्स के बाद जो टाइम था पहले मैंने ऑप्शनल पे ज़्यादा फोकस किया था, 60% टाइम, 30-40% जीएस, और जैसे जैसे मतलब 1 महीने के बाद फिर वही 50-50 हो गया था रेशियो। और हर दिन मैंने आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस करती थी 1 घंटे। तो ये चीज़ चला है। और फिर बाद में तो जैसे 15-20 दिन बचा तो जीएस ज़्यादा हो गया क्योंकि वो पहले होगा पेपर। और शायद लास्ट के 8-10 दिन, मतलब जब 1 हफ्ता बचा है, तो मैं ऑप्शन बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ा था, केवल जीएस, क्योंकि 1 हफ्ते में एग्जाम है। फिर 5 दिन जो बचे था बीच में वो केवल ऑप्शनल था बस। ठीक है। हाँ, यस
मैम, जैसे कि मेरा अभी 12th हुआ है, मुझे एग्ज़ाम 2028 में देना है, तो मैम मैं अभी से किन चीज़ों पे फोकस करूँ?
अभी आप केवल बेसिक चीज़ों पे फोकस करें। जो क्लास अगर आप कर रही हैं तो क्या हो गया? अच्छा, कुछ हुआ था क्या? ओके, हाँ जी। तो अभी आपने 12th जैसे किया है, आप अपना जो भी क्लास कर रही हैं अभी आप क्लास पे और बेसिक्स पे बनाने पे फोकस करें, फाउंडेशन को अपना बनाने की कोशिश करें। और इसके साथ साथ आप जैसे बुक्स वगैरह जो हैं साथ साथ रीड कर सकती हैं, तो उतना पे फोकस करें। एनसीईआरटीज क्योंकि आपके पास समय है तो आप बिल्कुल कर सकती हैं एनसीईआरटीज। और उसके बाद जो स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स है आप तो पूरी कोशिश करिएगा कि फिर सारी स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स जो भी रिफर होती हैं सब करें, ठीक है? तो कोई इशू नहीं है।
मैम, आप न्यूज़पेपर के लिए किस पे रिलाई करती थी? मंथली मैगजीन्स पे, डेली न्यूज़पेपर या यूट्यूब एनालिसिस?
कुछ नहीं, मैं डायरेक्टली न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ती थी, बाकी एनालिसिस नहीं करती थी। न्यूज़पेपर स्टार्टिंग में नहीं समझ में आता है, जैसे आप प्रिपरेशन में जब नए होते हो और तो आपको नहीं समझ में आता है, आधी न्यूज़ आपके दिमाग से समझ गया तो आप न्यूज़पेपर ज़रूर रेगुलरली पढ़े, कुछ टाइम बाद आपको समझ में आने लगेगा। न्यूज़पेपर ही पढ़ा है। और पीटी 365 और मेंस 365, मतलब प्रीलिम्स के लिए और मेंस के लिए मेंस 365 विजन आईएएस का जो आता है वही किया था।
थैंक यू मैम।
ठीक है।
Just last question. Like I am actually planning to first of all traverse through all these subjects. जो भी basic हमारे notes होते हैं, जो standard notes होते हैं. Then I am planning to actually start with the answer writing.
आपको देना कब है? हाँ, तो अभी आपका कितना कंप्लीट हो गया है?
Like major subjects like economy, politics, geography, all that I have completed. जो आपके minor subjects like internal security, DM and all those are only there.
अच्छा, तो देखिए क्योंकि आपको अगले साल देना है तो अब आपको आंसर राइटिंग मतलब अभी नहीं तो 1 महीने में लिखना शुरू कर देनी चाहिए, क्योंकि आंसर राइटिंग देखिए आप कर केवल पाएंगे दिसंबर तक की, क्योंकि आप तो जनवरी से फिर प्रीलिम्स पे फोकस करेंगे ना, तो फिर 5-6 महीने तो लग जाते हैं ना आंसर राइटिंग डेवलप होने में। तो आप उसको बहुत ज़्यादा वेट ना करें, आप जैसा ही लिख पाएँ, बेकार आंसर लिख पाएँ। देखिए बेकार सबने ही लिखा है ना स्टार्टिंग में, सबको ही तो पहले दिन से ही नहीं अच्छा लिखता है, तो आप शुरू करें, मतलब बहुत 5-6 महीने लग जाते हैं आंसर राइटिंग को डेवलप होने में, ठीक है? तो बहुत ज़्यादा डिले नहीं करना है आपको, ठीक है? Yes.
What made you choose Geo as an option despite of its so much butchering in answer writing and huge syllabus?
मुझे पता नहीं था ना कि बूचरिंग हो रही है। हाँ ठीक है।
सिलेक्ट करने के टाइम पे मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस
हाँ जी, तो मैंने जब जीएस के लिए पढ़ रही थी तो ज्योग्राफी अच्छा इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, तो सोचा कि एक्चुअली मैं मैथमेटिक्स को लेके इंक्लाइन थी, तो मैथमेटिक्स का सिलेबस ज़्यादा बड़ा था और कोई ओवरलैप नहीं था ज्योग्राफी के साथ, मतलब जीएस के साथ। तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि क्यों ना ऐसा सब्जेक्ट लिया जाए जो जीएस के साथ थोड़ा ओवरलैप भी है, तो उसमें कुछ ही सब्जेक्ट्स फिर बचते हैं, पीएसआईआर हो गया आपका, या ज्योग्राफी हो गया, हिस्ट्री हो गया। तो मुझे जो जीएस के टाइम, मैंने जीएस की प्रिपरेशन पहले स्टार्ट की थी, तो जो जीएस के टाइम पे मुझे जो सबसे अच्छा सब्जेक्ट लगा, फिर मैंने उसका सिलेबस देखा, ज्योग्राफी का सिलेबस भी थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग लगा, इसलिए चूज़ कर लिया। फिर बाद में पता चला कि मतलब ऐसा होता है। हाँ जी।
और मैम जैसे लाइक मल्टीपल सब्जेक्ट्स, मल्टीपल क्लासेस हो रही हैं, उसके बाद हमें प्रीवियस सब्जेक्ट जो पढ़ाए गए हैं उनका भी रिवीजन करना है, तो ये बहुत हेक्टिक सा हो जाता है कि लाइक छूटने लगता है रिवीजन। या तो हम क्लास पे ही फोकस कर लें, या फिर हम बुक्स ही पढ़ लें, या फिर रिवीजन ही कर लें। तो ये सब आप कैसे मैनेज करते हैं?
देखिए ऐसा है कि देखिए 2 पॉइंट है, ये आपका स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है, ये आपका एंड पॉइंट है जहाँ आपको लिस्ट में बनाना है। अगर आप ज़्यादा मतलब आपको ये स्ट्रेट लाइन है, या तो आप ऐसे घूम के जा सकते हैं, या तो आप ऐसे होके ऐसे आ सकते हैं, और उसका देखिए प्रोसेस है वो रास्ते का आपको सेल्फ स्टडी करना ही है, बुक्स आपको पढ़नी ही है। अब टाइम मैनेजमेंट तो देखिए आपको करना पड़ेगा। अब अगर आप क्लास पे फोकस करना चाहते हैं केवल पहले, और आपका ये फैमिली सिचुएशन और आपकी पर्सनल सिचुएशन ये अलाउ करती है कि आप 1 साल केवल सेल्फ स्टडी पे डिवोट कर सकते हैं, तो आप वो भी कर सकते हैं। पर अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको थोड़ा करना है, तो आपको थोड़ा तो पुश करना पड़ेगा। तो देखिए टाइम मैनेजमेंट का क्या है, तो इसमें आप क्या कर सकते हैं कि आप कोशिश करें कि जो आप सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहे हैं वो क्लास के साथ ही अलाइंड हो। जैसे अगर आप पॉलिटी क्लास में चल रही तो आप पॉलिटी ही करें, क्यों आपको अलग सब्जेक्ट करना है, क्यों आप अपने आप से इकोनॉमी कर रहे हैं, आप ये ट्राई कर सकते हैं। और कोशिश करें कि जब आप क्लास में रहें तो ज़्यादा अटेंटिव रहें, कि आपको क्लास में अच्छे से सुने, कि आपको वो रिवीजन जब घर जाके कर रहे हैं तो वो रिवीजन फटाफट हो जाए। क्योंकि अगर क्लास में जो चीज़ 3 घंटे में पढ़ाई गई होगी वो आप रिवीजन आधे घंटे में 1 घंटे में कर लेंगे, अगर आपने क्लास में बहुत अटेंटिवली सुना है तो आप उस चीज़ के साथ फोकस कर सकते हैं कि कैसे आप मिनिमम टाइम में रिवाइज कर पाएं। और बुक्स तो देखिए आपको थोड़ा बहुत तो कुछ बुक्स तो आपको पढ़नी पड़ेंगी, मे बी सारी नहीं पर कुछ तो पढ़नी पड़ेंगी, क्योंकि आप नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो आपका बेस कमजोर रहेगा। और फिर बाद में देखिए एक बार आप साइकिल में एंटर कर गए तो इम्प्रूवमेंट का स्कोप धीरे धीरे कम होता चला जाता है। तो अगर आप जब पहली बार कर रहे हैं तो थोड़ा कोशिश करें, और जो बैकलॉग हो तो संडे वगैरह को थोड़ा सा ट्राई करें, जिस भी दिन हॉलीडे रहता है उस दिन ट्राई करें कि थोड़ा सा कवर हो जाए।
और मैम लाइक रिसोर्सेज इतने ज़्यादा हैं, लेकिन हमको जितने कम रिसोर्सेज पे स्टिक करें और अच्छे से स्टिक करें जी, वो बेटर रहता है।
बिल्कुल,
तो आपने ये कैसे लाइक एक ही सब्जेक्ट की मल्टीपल बुक्स हैं और मल्टीपल मतलब कि वो सारी अच्छी हैं, तो आपने कैसे स्पेसिफिकली
आपको जो सबसे आपको लैंग्वेज जिसकी सबसे आसान लगे, एक्सेसिबिलिटी सबसे आसान लगे वो ले लीजिए। 70-80% कंटेंट हर बुक का सेम है। आप पहले 70-80% को मास्टर करिए, 20-30% आपका करंट अफेयर से हो जाएगा। आपके 20-30% के पीछे ना भागे, आप 70-80% के पीछे भागे। लगभग सब में लगभग एक ही चीज है, तो आप एक कोई भी उठा ले जो आपको पर्सनली लगे कि आप से हो पाएगा। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे पिक्चर्स वाली बुक्स जिसमें हो, थोड़ा सा कलरफुल हो, तो मुझे पर्सनली ज्यादा एक्सेसिबल लगती है। तो इसलिए मैं वैसी बुक पसंद कर लेती हूँ। तो ऐसी वाली चीज़ है कि अगर जिसकी लैंग्वेज आपको आसान लगे, जो आपको लगे पढ़ने में कि ये आपसे पढ़ी जा सकती है 2 3 4 बार 10 बार, वो आप अपनी चेंज कर लें, क्योंकि कंटेंट लगभग एक ही जैसा है। आपका कंसेप्ट क्लियर होंगे, आप क्लास भी कर रहे हैं तो आपका काम हो जाएगा। आप 70-80 पे फोकस करें, कोई इशू नहीं है उसमें। ठीक है।
Ma'am, my question is that, ma'am, for geography we can only rely for the NCERTs of 11th, 12th, or also we can go through the standard book like GC Leong and all.
Yes, you can go to through the GC Leong as well, but not all the chapters are very important. I think certain chapters are not important at all. So just go through it once. You can and then see PYQs, and then you can refer only selectively.
But ma'am, most of the topics are from NCERTs. We can say.
Yes, certain books like climate or world climate things, that is not very sufficiently covered in the NCERTs. For that, GC Leong's I think last chapters that are good ones. So you can do that and then refer to PYQs, and then still you feel that there are certain gaps left. Then for that you can refer to your class notes and PYQs that you can fill through via that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so that was an end from my end. Thank you everyone for your time. Thank you so much.